Hey guys, so I just wanted to do something a little bit different today rather than doing a full market recap. I thought I'd just talk briefly about trends and trading trends and kind of how we do that with the elite range bar system with range bars. And it is really important if you want to be an intraday trader, you want to be a day trader, you need to be able to identify what the trend is and be able to essentially trade in the direction of it more often than not, because generally the best trades are going to be with the trends. It doesn't always require a full-on trending day. It can be swinging. You can just catch the insides of those moves. It can even be a little bit of a range-bound market, and you can still get from the middle of the range towards the outside and get some pretty decent, what would probably only be scalps around 10 pips or 15 pips, depending on the size of the range. But there's still definitely trending moves available. So you need to know how you can really identify that. And something that we use that helps a lot is we use an MA here. And MAs are generally, or moving averages, are generally going to be one of the best ways I've found to define a trend. And that's just because you can make a mechanical rule on it. It's the same day after day. It's well defined in terms of what you're looking for. You can do things visually, and you can tell on a daily, weekly chart what's the trend. Is it up? Is it down? And trade in the direction of that. But when you're an intraday trader, you're a day trader, you need to make decisions quite quickly in comparison. You need something that is clear, something that's part of a methodology that you can use day after day. And so this is the sort of thing that we use. And it's not your typical MA. As you can see, it reacts very, very quickly to turns, but yet at the same time, it has a lot of smoothness to it, and that's what you want. You want something that, when the trend does turn, if it turns quickly, that you can get in on that, essentially that first pullback on the new trending move. But at the same time, you don't want it whipping all around on you. You don't want it to be going from positive to negative over and over. You want something that is going to be relatively smooth. Even though the Forex market can really turn on a dime, it is something that when it trends, it really trends well. Even when it pulls back a fair bit, it continues that trend more often than not. So you do want something that will keep you on the right side of the market. And that's what I found that this really does quite well and does better than any other moving average I've really worked with on time-based charts or range bar charts. And so basically what we're looking for, we want to get those first pullbacks on these moves. These are all what I call type 1s or variations of type 1s. They're with trend trades. It's not necessarily, you don't take every one that comes across, the line. You don't, as soon as it crosses the line, you don't go long, or as soon as it comes below, you don't go short. You look for certain patterns, and there's things that we look for that are very clearly defined within the elite range bar system, in terms of not only being with the trend, but also being with short-term momentum, and that's huge. You need a proper pattern, and then you need short-term momentum. And so, once all those criteria are fulfilled, as long as we're with the trend, we can have a very good win rate and also an excellent risk-reward. And you can basically see here, this is essentially what our risk is when we take a trade. These are 3 pip range bars, and we enter a pip above, and we usually have our stop a pip below. So we're usually risking about 5 pips, maybe 6 pips if we move our stop a little bit, or we're on a 4 pip range bar chart. But it's very, very small risk, and obviously the reward can be potentially very, very large on some of those, especially on a day like this where things are really moving. But if you're doing small risk like that, it's key that you're able to properly time it, because even though the risk is small, you can't just keep entering over and over and over all day. Those losses will eventually add up. So there's more than just trading with the trend. Like I said, you need to have short-term momentum. You need to have certain patterns on your side. But when those criteria are fulfilled, the risk reward can really be excellent. You can still keep your win rate quite high. So that's really got to be the key. Whatever you look for, if you're looking for a system or if you're developing your own, if you're doing day trading, you need to be able to quickly identify where that larger momentum is, where the short-term momentum is, what's your intraday trend that you're currently working with, and make your decisions based off that sort of thing. And then at the same time, you can implement more intermediate, advanced techniques in terms of reversals and things as well, which we we do include, and we have them also very clearly defined. But for the most part, your bread and butter trades are going to be based around those trends. So however you want to define that, and make sure that you're in line with that. That's going to really help your intraday and your day trading. Now, one other thing I wanted to quickly mention, just because I've had a number of people who are on my website and checking out the Elite Range Bar system, they've been asking me, are there other pairs that you can trade with this? And yes, there are. I mostly trade the Euro USD these days with the 3 pip range bar chart, sometimes the 4 pip range bar chart, but about 80% of the trades are probably the Euro USD range bar 3. There's also the Aussie USD is probably my second pair of choice. It's kind of slow right now for the summer, but it generally does get a little bit better at other times of the year. So that's usually one I go to. I've also traded the Euro Yen, I've traded the Aussie Yen, I've traded the Pound USD. I know I haven't traded it, but some other traders I work with have traded the USD CAD and also some other pairs as well. So, range bar trading really works with any pair. I've found that the Euro USD is ideal because it works really well with it, whether it's ranging, whether it's trending or swinging like it is today. And it also allows you to keep your risk really low because the spreads are low. And so I find it to be the ideal pair. It's what I usually try to focus on, but definitely, pretty much all other pairs, or especially the ones that I mentioned, ones that have, lower spreads, are great. And if you're going with something with a little bit bigger spread, you can always use bigger range bars as well. You can use 4, 5 pip range bars, even higher than that. I've used up to 8 before in my trading. So there's a lot of options and a lot of versatility available with this sort of trading. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this a little bit, something a little bit different, just talking about trends today and the importance of that in your intraday trading. And if there's any questions or anything, you can fire me an email off the website, or you can leave a comment here as well. All right, thanks. Bye.